My name is David Harrison Greis. Welcome to the Greis Report, your unfiltered daily voice for truth. Tonight, I would like to focus on the narrative machine that's coming out of Washington right now. And this is a very, very important thing to follow because this is their roadmap for taking over the country. So we've had these ongoing battles between the Trump administration, or should I say now the Trump regime, because they've gone full-on autocratic dictatorship. They are trying to send troops to Portland and to Chicago, like desperately trying to do so. So desperately that overnight, Judge Karen Immergut ruled that Trump cannot send any troops from any state to Portland. And now Governor Pritzker of Illinois is suing the Trump administration because they're threatening to send troops from other states to Illinois. The Illinois National Guard had a conversation with the White House's staff, and they were like, there's no reason for you to be here. There's nothing going on that would require the National Guard to be federalized or to participate, and the governor will not do it. And this is all going to be very important to follow because the next step in the narrative is already starting to unfold before our very eyes. So Governor Pritzker went on a news conference earlier today and was kind of talking about Donald Trump's narrative machine. And this is kind of how his narrative works, right? He will spin all of these different kinds of narratives, and it will start from one place, and it will always have the end goal of a larger change in society. So premeditated chaos and violence. So you're going to hear what Governor Pritzker has to say about that. And then creating fear and confusion, making peaceful protesters out to be this mob because you're firing things upon them, trying to create chaotic scenes to film it for social media, to make everybody think it's a war zone when really it's just like 3 square blocks of the ICE Gestapo firing on protesters, and that's it. And then all of this to show that he needs to be able to invoke the Insurrection Act to send troops to our states, to impose martial law, so that he can suspend elections, because he knows if we win the elections in 2026, which we will, he's getting impeached, and everybody's going to stand trial for their crimes against humanity. So let's listen to Governor Pritzker and hear what he has to say about that narrative machine now.
And premeditated. The Trump administration is following a playbook. Cause chaos, create fear and confusion, make it seem like peaceful protesters are a mob by firing gas pellets and tear gas canisters at them. Why? To create the pretext for invoking the Insurrection Act so that he can send military troops to our city. He wants to justify and normalize the presence of armed soldiers under his direct command. I want to take you through.
All right, so that's exactly how the narrative machine works. And you're going to be seeing an example of that in just a minute. So if you like what you're hearing tonight, please remember to like, subscribe, and down here we have an email address, thegreisreport@gmail.com. Again, that's thegreisreport@gmail.com. Please send us any tips, leads, story requests, any kind of interaction that you're having with the ICE Gestapo or with the National Guard. We are happy to actually engage with our viewership because you make the show what it is. And please do hit that subscribe button and that like button and hit that bell. Make sure that you are alerted to when we grow as a channel and when we keep pushing out videos, so you get those notifications and you're up to date on the news. Because we're trying to cover stories that the mainstream media might be shying away from in this moment. And it's never been more important to be loud about the truth. So let's move on with tonight's show. So I'm going to show you a clip of Donald Trump and Kristi Noem's reaction to everything that's going on in Chicago and in Portland and in California. So first, I want you to focus on Trump and what he says about insurrectionists, because that's the end goal of everything that he's doing right now. They're trying to create a narrative about this insurrection that's occurring against Trump so that he can suspend elections. So let's listen and watch that clip now.
Things like that are just too bad. I appointed the judge. Portland is burning to the ground. You have agitators, insurrectionists.
The administration arguing troops are needed to protect ICE agents, saying gangs, cartels, and terrorist organizations have put bounties on their heads.
It's been $2,000 to kidnap them, $10,000 to kill them. They've released their pictures. It's an extremely dangerous situation and unprecedented.
Yeah, so it's pretty disturbing because the individual who was shot at in Chicago over this past weekend, she was an American citizen. An American citizen was shot by the ICE Gestapo, and they're trying to spin a narrative that she was part of an organization that was putting bounties on the ICE Gestapo's heads. I'm sorry, but I'm just going to press this again. Who the hell has money right now to put a bounty on anyone? And I'm sorry, but the Democrats don't put bounties on people. The people that are just trying to survive are trying to figure out how they can avoid having these interactions with the ICE Gestapo and figure out where they might be existing or living, only because they want to avoid those areas, not because they want to bring any harm. There's a big difference between wanting to be defense, like going on the defense, and going on the offense. Right now, the ICE Gestapo are going on the offense, and they're trying to rip apart families, and they're grabbing anybody that they can. The people who are being victimized are trying to go on the defense and figure out ways to avoid interacting with them altogether. They are not going to go out there and purposefully seek down interactions with them so that they can allegedly assault them or whatever else the government is saying that they're doing. There is no organization that is offering bounties on ICE Gestapo. It's just not happening. So this is how the narrative machine works, and it's going to become more dangerous because as more judges start to push back against the Trump administration, you're going to have people like Stephen Miller, who really are acting like Goebbels right now, going after them. And this is a problem because it puts judges in a dangerous spot. Stephen Miller said that judges are supporting radical left extremism, which isn't a thing. It's not occurring. The judges are upholding the constitutional law that they were sworn to uphold. They're doing the right thing, and we got to make sure that they are protected. And I hope the states give them security details so that they aren't in danger as they push back against Trump and protect the Constitution. So thank you for watching the show tonight. Release the Epstein Files. This has been David Harrison Greis. Welcome to The Resistance, and have a great night.